E3 has come and gone, and boy, was it a great time. We're going to talk about that and only that on the Tech Summit Podcast, episode 53. I'm Chris.
I am Francisco, and if you're watching on YouTube, then do make sure to check out the social media that's going to be right down here.
And of course, if you are listening in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, all of that information will be in the respective descriptions.
That's right. And before we continue, we wanted to give a very special thanks to all of our patrons, and of course, we want to give a very special thanks to both the Tier 2s and the Tier 3s, which I am going to have listed further down in the list that I am looking at right now. I have that list ready. Okay, here I go. So, Tier 3 patrons first, the $10 tier. Thank you so much to Sara Wazal, Omar, and Joe Moss. All of your support is very much welcome, so thank you so much. And for the $5 tier, or Tier 2s, that would be Armani, Rix Rocks, Dizzy YT, Maury, C, and Luke. Thanks so much for all of your support once more. And just know that all of you have been entered for the giveaway of the Rode NT USB Mini, this time fully sealed, because we did get the replacement. The other one stopped working. But this one is most likely working, since it's brand new in the box. And
hopefully.
Yes. And if you would also like to be entered for the giveaway, then do make sure to check out our Patreon, which is going to be linked down in the description, of course. And Tier 2s and 3s are automatically entered for the giveaways, but you also got bonus episodes of the Tech Summit podcast, so
yes,
do keep that in mind.
And of course, we're going to have a pretty good bonus episode for this coming week. For today, we're going to be talking about the things about E3 that we loved or liked, and really are looking forward to. But the bonus episode will be all the things we hated, the things we didn't like, the negative things, and of course, the internet loves its negative complaining content. So,
and we're here to give it to you.
Subscribe to the Patreon. Subscribe to the Patreon, and you get access to that. And there'll be little bad words and cursing, and I'm sure you have a lot of things you want to say about a certain presentation.
A few of them.
Yeah, a few of them, but
yeah.
A particular one.
Sure.
I'm guessing.
I'm very passionate.
Yeah, so
I'm a very passionate person.
So I guess we should probably just jump right in, because E3 had a decent amount of things over the last week or so. It was a bit scattered just because there was no physical show for a variety of reasons.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly why, but a few reasons out there.
Yeah, let's just jump straight into it. So, E3 2021.
It actually happened this year, guys. E3 is not dead, so that's already one good thing.
Now, Francisco, start us off.
Start us off.
What's something you really enjoyed out of this E3?
Shin Megami Tensei 5, official release date for November 12th, I think. Either 11th or the 12th, somewhere around there. But we finally have an official release date. I've been enjoying SMT3 Nocturne quite a bit, so it is pretty nice to see that SMT5 now has an official release date. And we saw some gameplay as well.
Yes.
In the Nintendo Direct/E3 presentation, which looked so different from other Shin Megami Tensei games, and even Persona. Because, everyone knows that SMT is a Persona ripoff.
Yeah, a lot of people in the chat were talking about how it's a Persona clone, it's ripping off Persona. Now, of course, I am a filthy casual who has only played Persona. I have not played any SMT games. I know I should. But the interface looking the way it did was very interesting to me. I could see, the elements of Persona where it's, talk with the interrogations and all that stuff, but it's, seeing the interface look so radically different. It was very interesting, and I'm very curious of the game. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
definitely.
And demon negotiations are very different here. It's not just two questions and okay, I guess I have a new persona. It's more like you have to go through a web of questions, and you have to react the right way or respond the right way. If not, they might hit you, or they might just leave, or they might get angry at you, or they might join, or they might just be like, you know what, I don't feel like coming with you, but here's an item, or something along the lines. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. And also, to those people who are saying that Shin Megami Tensei is a ripoff of Persona. Every Persona game up until 4, Golden, was called Shin Megami Tensei Persona X number.
Of course.
So just so you know, Persona falls under the SMT umbrella. It's not the other way around.
Of course. There's just a lot of people like got into the entire series through 5. You know, 5 was a very it was an extremely surprising like bestseller that I don't even think Atlas or Sega expected it to sell as well as it did. So it's just like whoa. And I wanted to ask you that when it comes to SMT5, do you think a lot of that like goodwill that was brought up through Persona 5 and 4 Golden's release on PC, do you think that translates to higher sales for SMT5?
I would hope so. I would very much hope so.
But do you think so? I feel like
I can say that I hope so. The reason for that is because like I have been seeing very often in the internet like just like dwindling interest for Shin Megami Tensei, like mainline SMT, and the interest has been shifting a lot more towards Persona, and you know, like I understand why from the perspective, especially of a lot of newcomers, Persona is more accessible than SMT. I actually started off with SMT. The first one I played was for Apocalypse. I actually really liked it in spite of public perception of that game, but yeah, like if it were Persona 6, it would have gotten a lot more hype and excitement from more people.
Easily.
Yeah, I will say that. So I'm hoping, you know, that it still does pretty well sales-wise, so that they can continue doing it.
I'm honestly doubtful. I mean, yeah, like you said, there's dwindling interest. Even though the dwindling interest, I feel is partly because there's like way more like of a gap in time between SMT entries. Like
that is true.
Like in the time span between Shin Megami Tensei 4 and 5, we've gotten what? Persona 4 Golden, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
Well, Golden came out before 4 actually.
4 was what, 2012 or 2013?
2013.
Excuse me, my mistake. Ultimax then might actually have been before SMT4 then. But you got Persona 5, you had Strikers, you have Persona Q and Persona 4 Q2. Like,
yeah.
The dancing games, like there's a lot more Persona content coming out. Because I do feel like Persona is a bit more accessible.
It is.
And
I agree.
I really hope this isn't the case, but I just keep thinking this in my head. Persona is a word that like works in both languages, and like, you know, you could go to an English speaking person, you hear the word Persona, like, oh, I know that word. But then you hear Shin Megami Tensei and you're thinking, oh, that sounds inaccessible to me.
Oh, you filthy casual.
That sounds too far out for me. Is that only in Japan? Do I have to know Japanese to play it?
And to that person, I would say, well, just read the words that come before Persona right on top.
Well, they don't know that.
4 and below.
They don't know that. Exactly, 4 and below. That's the thing. They know Golden, they know 4 Golden, and they know 5, and that's it.
And neither of them have the Shin Megami Tensei moniker, I don't think.
And even Persona 3, I feel like yes, it has the moniker when it originally came out, but I feel like for a lot of people, Persona 3 is just Persona 3.
Yeah.
So like, and if they were to if they were to finally port or re-release 3, which they really, really should on PC already, but like if they were to do so, you know, it would not have the Shin Megami Tensei like header. It would not. It would just be Persona 3.
It probably wouldn't. It
would just be Persona 3.
That's most likely true. Yeah.
I mean,
and that's kind of sad.
I'm hoping it gets sales, but something tells me it's gonna be more of like a somewhat niche title that then ends up going like really high in value for physical copies as it like goes out of print.
Shin Megami Tensei has always been really niche, so that wouldn't be too surprising, but I hope that it does better than ever.
Well, do we know the sales figures for Nocturne?
For Nocturne, I don't know them. The remaster, I don't know if it sold all that well, really, but like original Nocturne.
And then you have to ask yourself, it's like, does the Nocturne remaster sell poorly because people don't care about Shin Megami Tensei and they don't realize that it's from the same Persona developers? Or is it because the remaster itself was very like bare bones and shoddy and it's like not worth?
Option C.
It's like it's not worth buying compared to just.
Well, not at the well, not at the.
I didn't say the full word.
I know. Just censored. I would say that not at full price, it might not be worth it because like full price for the HD remaster is $50. You know.
Not 60, really.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, not 60. How dare you even entertain that idea?
I mean, it's a modern game price. They could do that if they wanted to. Nintendo does it all the time.
Yeah, Nintendo Atlas is slightly less greedy. Just, $10 less greedy. And let's see. So we have, when it comes to sales figures, Nocturne HD. Is this like in thousands?
It's at 100,000. So
yeah, these are physical sales
in
Japan specifically.
So that's not including digital sales. And of course, that's not including the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like Japan is a little more skewed, though, because, again, Shin Megami Tensei is definitely more popular in Japan than it would be here. So it's like, like that doesn't necessarily bode a whole lot for its success in the West.
Yeah. Like, a cult following bought Nocturne HD Remaster. Like people who already liked the game or wanted to get into Shin Megami Tensei from playing Persona.
Exactly. But a lot of people, they might just only care about Persona. They might just be waiting for Persona 6.
Yeah. And I would just be like, where's my Switch version? I'm asking the same thing. I want to know if we're going to get Shin Megami Tensei Persona 6 on just Persona 6 on Switch. I would love to see it there.
SMT5, yeah. Really looking forward to it, honestly.
Yeah, same here. Though we rambled a lot about this niche-ass game.
Yeah. Let's go in the complete opposite direction for one that I actually think was honestly one of the best things. I did not expect it to be one of the best things. I'm very surprised by my answer, and I know you're heavily going to disagree with me on this one.
Let's see.
Battlefield 2042.
Okay.
I'm not even kidding here. Like, I did not expect me to be like, military first-person shooter. Yeah, it's one of the best things at E3. But genuinely, it honestly looks really exciting.
I don't blame you. There has been a lot of excitement surrounding it.
There was definitely buzz for the longest time that the next Battlefield was going to go back to that sort of modern setting after spending the last couple of games in, like, the past.
Yeah.
And Battlefield 5 in particular having such a polarizing reaction, whether it's deserved or not. We're not going to get into that here.
Yeah.
Partly because I didn't play it. But
I actually played some of it. But it was mostly for like ray tracing testing and things like that.
You're not an FPS guy, so
yeah.
Yeah,
I just bought an Origin account that had the game in it on eBay for like $7, I think. And I was like, okay, sweet.
So it's great. But yeah, so like, but to see it coming back to the modern times, like that's really cool. My brother is super hyped because my brother loves modern military shooters. Like he likes FPSs in general, but he like particularly really likes those modern ones. Like when Call of Duty went back to Modern Warfare, he was like way more excited about that than he was with Infinite Warfare or World War II. Like, but to see the actual like trailers and then the gameplay footage for 2042, it's like this feels like we're back home with what Battlefield is supposed to be. It's like it feels like a nostalgia trip for Battlefield 4. And the fact that we're saying nostalgia for Battlefield 4 is really like messing with my head because it feels like it came out not too long ago. But that game is 8 years old this year.
Wow.
So it's like, oh no. You know, I feel like that one scene from Saving Private Ryan where Matt Damon like just transforms into old. Like,
I mean, think about it. Like you were in your like early years of high school when that game came out. So like in retrospect,
I think I would have been in my junior year.
Junior?
2013.
2013.
So
okay.
I would have been in like my junior year. Not even. I think I actually might have been in my senior year, like the early parts of my senior year at that point.
Interesting. Okay. I think I may have been a junior. I was definitely a junior fall of 2013. But anyway, yeah, like in retrospect, when you think about it, a lot has happened in between.
A lot.
Yeah, so
and
like that nostalgia factor is justified.
And it's just kind of insane that in this E3 where we had all of these things, like one of the biggest and most surprising things to come out of this really was Battlefield. One of those like Tenet franchises that a lot of people are like, oh, yep, another Call of Duty, another Assassin's Creed, another Battlefield, another FIFA. Like, but like, no, genuinely Battlefield 2042 looks honestly really good. I'm really excited to play it when it comes out. I might even upgrade to EA Play Pro.
Whoa!
I know.
Did you hear that, guys?
I mean, the other option is like spending $60 for the game, but
okay, that's why.
The other option is like doing that. And honestly, maybe I'll do that because I don't know if I want to spend like extra money on a like monthly basis for one game.
Yeah.
When I already have EA Play through Game Pass, for example, so it's like
right, dude. Man, like you've really been on a roll about Game Pass.
E3 was very good for Game Pass users, but we'll get to that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, surely.
What else you got?
For me, another pretty exciting announcement, I would say, was also the pixel perfect Final Fantasy games.
Really?
Yeah,
I saw a lot of people complaining about them.
I know. I know. My only complaint about it is that they're not coming to Switch, really.
That's the big complaint.
Yeah, but like, it is nice that they're at least coming to PC, you know?
Okay,
Like,
so-
I'm finally going to be able to have the entire Final Fantasies 1 through 15 shortcuts on my desktop, all lined up.
So, just so I'm clear, because I saw it and I was thinking this looks very interesting. Because I was actually thinking about putting it on the best of list for myself, just because of what it entails. But just so I'm understanding correctly, these pixel remasters is basically pixel remasters of 1 through 6. So it's
1
like,
through 6, yeah.
like, are these new remasters? Obviously, I know for 5 and 6, it's no longer the little 3D or not 3D, no.
No, it was
3 and 4 had
and
the
4,
3D.
yeah. Yeah, it was
And
3 and
then
4.
5 and 6 had the really weird RPG Maker looking versions that are like smudged up and stuff. So like,
Yeah.
but 1 and 2, are these new remasters for 1 and 2? Because I remember those already had like pretty decent remasters.
They got remakes for the PSP. So like, I think that the remasters are probably going to be for the originals. I mean, like, that's just what I think. I hope not, because the originals look like trash, even if they try to,
Right.
remaster it. Still, like, those are NES games, not even SNES. So, when it comes to colors, like, they barely have any.
So basically, this is going to just be a nice, fresh update to all of these games, as opposed to where 3 and 4 they did a 3D style, and then 4 and 5 they completely messed it up. Like, these are just like the original games, but with a fresh coat of paint in that pixel style.
I think it is for the original games, but it might be for, like, hopefully these will have widescreen support, like the
course.
PSP remakes did.
I mean,
But just use, like, non-RPG Maker sprites.
if that is true, though, I am excited because I do want to play 5 and especially 6. 'Cause everyone says 6 is one of the best ones, or like the best 3D, excuse me, 2D one. And it's like, I'm excited to play it.
It
but
does have 3D cutscenes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So
it
there's
did,
that.
it did feel like it was like a huge ordeal to try and find the right version of 6 to play. And it's like, it would be really nice to be able to just play it on Steam or mobile.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people are like, ooh, mobile. But I'm thinking, so now when I get my iPad, I can just play these things as is.
Well, that's a pretty
right then
good
and
point,
there.
actually. Yeah. Yeah, like when you get your iPad. Because honestly, they are a lot more likely to come out on iOS first before Android if they do have that
Yeah.
issue going on, like that spacing between the two. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see it, mostly because I want to see all of my icons in just one place.
I do have one issue with these possible remasters, though.
What's up?
It would be really nice if they had them in a collection, and they're not going to.
No.
They're charging you almost full price, well, like a relatively higher price for each individual one, and that's going to hurt.
I mean, they called it a collection, but I'm pretty sure that they made it clear that these are going to be sold separately.
Like, you're going to be
each one.
paying like $20 a pop or something like that. Well, at least for 5 and 6, you're definitely paying like $20. Maybe the other ones you pay a little bit less, but like,
God forbid. I mean,
something tells me like that's gonna
imagine
happen.
6 being like 30, like, or 25. I can see them.
No, I
doing
can
that,
see
actually.
being 20. Like, I feel like 5 and 6 will be 20, 3 and 4 will be like 15, and then maybe it's like $10 for 1 and 2.
But it's 6. It's one of the best RPGs of all time.
Still 20. I mean, they charge 20 for the RPG Maker one right now, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't feel like they're gonna go higher than that.
I think they charge a little bit less, actually. If I'm
Yeah,
not
actually,
mistaken.
you're right, because I think on
think
the
it's like
iOS store, I think
15.
it's like $20 for like 9, for example. You're right. So
Yeah.
8 and 9 are like 18, $20.
Mm-hmm. No, like, the remaster is definitely not on mobile.
But like, I'm excited to try these. It sucks that you're gonna probably be paying like $70, $80 for all of them. That's the unfortunate thing.
If you wanted all of them, yeah. If they came to Switch, though, maybe I'd be more inclined to doing so. Though, like, to be frank, I'm probably only going to buy 1 and 2 on
Really?
PC. Yeah, because I already have the rest of them. I'd rather mod 6 than buy the Pixel Perfect edition, since I've already paid for 6. I feel like people who also bought like the previous versions of these Final Fantasy games should, I don't know, get some kind of discount on them for the pixel perfect ones on PC.
It would be nice, but they're definitely not going to do that.
Yeah, it is Square Enix.
But as someone who like doesn't have these games, it's nice. Like,
yeah,
I'm excited to be able to finally play 6
mm-hmm.
after I play all the other ones to actually like play my goddamn first Final Fantasy. 'Cause I still have. I'm over here sitting here acting like I'm a Final Fantasy fan when I've like played like 2/3 of one combined. It's like.
Continue.
But
I'm not judging you from here.
sticking with Square Enix for a brief moment.
Yes.
Next one for me, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually genuinely excited for Guardians of the Galaxy because it looks like the Avengers game that we should have gotten but didn't because they wanted to make it a live service. Like
in terms of looks, yeah. Like I had to say,
like,
I mean,
it's a single player solo story adventure with like. And the things I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really like them and stuff like that. But like, just it's a self-contained story.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like this is what the Avengers game should have been.
Yeah.
And it feels like this is their way of like making up for it. I was actually like nervous the entire time. Like I was seeing this and I'm just like, oh, this looks cool, but it's probably just content for the Avengers game. And then like at the end they're just like, no, this is its own game. And I'm like I was really excited. Now,
I'm going to share a pretty different perspective on that.
Yeah.
But like, it's not because I have an issue with the game per se or the game existing. It's mostly just that, like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like the standalone movies so much. Like, I understand the appeal towards them. I kind of feel like they are a little bit overrated on their own, but I do like seeing that cast in the Avengers films.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that they work really well with everybody else. But I think that on their own, like it's always just like fun and games. And
I definitely understand that it's not for everyone.
Yeah,
I totally.
I mean,
get it.
it's for a lot of people though. It worked for a lot
Oh
of people.
yeah,
There
a
are
lot of
bunch
people.
of fans.
A lot of people really. I mean,
yeah.
There's a lot of people that like were particularly bothered by like the second movie. I really liked the second movie. I thought it was like in some ways it was actually better than the first. But I know a lot of people were like, okay, there's too many jokes in this. Like there's too much fooling around, and like it's like okay, I understand.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Like I totally understand it. I'm biased, so I will full out admit I am
totally
biased.
Fair, man. Totally fair.
I will concede that they did probably spend a little too much time on it, and I know the chat after a while was like really, really getting annoyed towards the end because it's like reveal trailer, talk about the game, show off some gameplay, a second trailer, and then it's like I totally understand where it's like, all right, I totally get it. And as we would later find out, they were doing that a lot because they did not have a whole lot else to show.
Yeah.
But like for me, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then it's coming out this year. I'm just like, oh man, I'm psyched.
Okay, well I think that's pretty cool, and I am very happy for your excitement here.
Yeah.
It is coming to PC, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing also like PlayStation 5, but it's not coming to PS4.
I'll have to double check that. I mean, you have that bit right there where they probably have like a lot cleaner listed.
Let's see. Okay, yeah. Square Enix's is right here. Guardians of the Galaxy, October 26th. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, and S, PC, Switch.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that from the Nintendo Direct. Like I was shocked when I saw they're putting on the Switch, and I'm just like, how is that gonna run?
That's awesome, honestly.
Because I will be honest, if it runs relatively well, I might actually end up looking to getting it on the Switch.
I would too, dude. Like just that portability aspect, to me, it means the world, and it makes every game so much more accessible.
It really does.
Yeah. So like even if it means like having a severe graphical downgrade, I am so willing to accept that as long as I can take it with me.
Right.
Yeah, personally. So like I can certainly relate to that. I would say that another highlight for me, and I definitely had another one, that was that Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is coming to Switch.
I saw that. I'm immediately like, oh, he's probably hyped about this.
Remember that reaction that you had about Guardians of the Galaxy? How you were like,
Yeah.
That was me. Oh my gosh,
Like,
this is coming to Switch.
I was like,
finally.
like, part of me was like, oh, Francisco must be hyped. Wait, but is he truly hyped up because it's just an existing game being brought to the Switch? Maybe he's not that excited. And it's like,
I actually like it when they do that.
Okay.
I like having every game on the go, and I really mean it.
I
Like
noticed
Skyrim
it-
on the go, when they put that on the Switch, I was like, yes.
and it's like all of the additional content on there too, isn't it?
Almost all of it, except for the latest DLC piece, but that's because it's going to be sold separately.
Oh, that's a shame.
But I think that's fine, actually, because it sounds like they're going to be including DLC 1 and 2 in the package, but you just have to pay for 3 on its own, which, honestly, I agree with that decision, because 3 was one that, like on PS4, you had to buy the season pass. There's no other way of getting any of the DLC, but they wouldn't tell you what was coming later. So when they said, "Oh, this particular storyline is coming," I'm like, "Oh, okay, so we're literally traveling back to the past, aren't we?"
I like that.
I got pretty salty, and then I actually played the DLC on PC, Warrior of Hope, the episode about Trunks, and it was actually quite good. But still, I do think that it should be a separate purchase of anything, and I am glad that they're including the other 2, because the other 2 are stupid short, though still fun.
All right. I
Yeah.
mean, it looks like a very interesting game. It's open world, isn't it? It looks.
No,
It looks kind of.
It's more like sandboxy. Like it's just a lot of different maps.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's like hub worlds and stuff like that. Or something?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And you can like fly around them and stuff, and
I
that's
would
like
say
where the story takes
looks,
place.
It looks interesting though. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really happy that you're going to be able to get that.
If you wanted to, like, if you wanted a good way of like consuming the story without having to watch the anime, that's how I would do it.
Really.
It's about like maybe 24 hours long.
It looks like it covers a lot of the big arcs. I noticed that.
Yeah, it's everything.
All of them.
All of them. Yeah,
All of the arcs.
all of the arcs.
Out of like all of the episodes of Dragon Ball Z that exist. Like how many episodes of Dragon Ball Z exist? Like 400 or something.
Yeah, but then there was Kai, which was like the version with almost no filler. It was
I
like
know.
a remaster.
And then of course you have the other Dragon Balls. You know, you have the original Dragon Ball. You have GT.
Oh
which-
well, I mean GT.
And I know a lot of people don't like GT.
I love GT, but it's not canon.
Oh, okay.
And the original Dragon Ball is not covered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but also like a lot of people ignore the original Dragon
So
Ball,
basically,
including myself.
So basically, Kakarot is basically just like
It's just
it's just the anime but playable.
yeah, and it does come with some Dragon Ball Super content, like the 2 episodes.
And does it
of
like
DLC.
does it actually like, go like deep into like the actual like story and stuff like that, or is it like very just like, oh, here's this battle this iconic battle, go ahead, do it.
For some fights, it does that, but like the important ones,
Like they'll actually
they give
like,
it the
cutscenes, text boxes.
yeah.
Because I'm actually very curious now. Like I'm interested. I didn't think I'd be interested, but now I'm actually like thinking about it. It's like
Yeah, I mean the cutscenes for some scenes, especially like earlier on in the game, just had me so impressed because, like Cyber Connect, when it comes to these anime games, they do some really funky, and like weird, like squishing and stretching, that just looks incredible on camera. Like it just looks like there's so much impact behind everything that happens.
okay.
And with the right sound design, of course, it can be
Yes.
even better.
Oh, is the sound design not that great, or
What? So the original version, like there, it looks like it got updated to fix this issue. But there was one scene where, like, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but like there was one scene where a lot of people were dying, and in this scene where people were dying, when limbs were being chopped off and that kind of thing, there was music but no sound effects to the the punches or the cuttings or like the the explosions. It was just like da, 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 and then you just heard them screaming.
that sounds PS2 tier, yeah.
But it looks like it got patched out because when I played it again on PC for my review on my second channel, I mean, like, it had the sound effects, and I was like, okay, I want to cry again now.
Okay.
but for another reason. I I can recommend the game. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and if it's coming to Switch, that's how I would get it.
All right, definitely.
I'm gonna buy it again on Switch.
I'm gonna consider that. Yeah, I want to do some research. Maybe I'll look at the second review. The review on the second channel.
Yes.
Excuse me. Yes.
It's about 2 hours long, so you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a long one. Yeah. All right. The review arc. That's what it is.
I mean, I talked about the entire story and the DLC.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like full of spoilers everywhere. The whole thing is spoiled.
Okay.
Yeah, so you might want to be careful.
All right. Also coming to Switch that I'm personally very excited about. WarioWare's back.
Oh yeah.
I'm really excited about.
Yeah,
I love
that.
WarioWare. I loved WarioWare Touched back in the day on the DS, and it's like I am super pumped for WarioWare to make its return because like it has been years since a proper WarioWare game. Like you had WarioWare Touch on the DS, then they made DIY where you could make your own micro games, and it's like that was really cool too because you had that stuff. But then for the Wii U, you just had Game & Wario, which wasn't really WarioWare, in my opinion. It was not all that legit. But then all of a sudden, it's WarioWare again.
And ever since
excited.
the Switch came out, too, like a lot of people have been asking for WarioWare.
They just want WarioWare anywhere. It doesn't matter. They could put out like another Game & Watch or something. And they want like, oh, where's a proper WarioWare? I just want WarioWare, and they're giving us WarioWare.
Speaking of Game & Watch, there was a Game & Watch.
That's right. There was. I realized what I was saying there. But like, yeah, no, I'm super pumped for a new WarioWare. I love those little micro games. My attention span has been shot over years of just internet content, so it's like they capture my attention. It's really cool to like go after high scores, try to be like really fast with these things. It's just, and then you have like this co-op sort of function, so it'd be really cool to be able to just play WarioWare with other people.
Yeah, with just like give them one Joy-Con. It's like, okay, let's go.
It's the little pumping game that they show and stuff like that, where you have to like do the little train thing or whatever. It's like
that seems awesome.
I realize I'm gushing a little bit here, but it's like my heart bleeds for WarioWare. It's one of the lesser cared about Nintendo franchises, but I'm extremely happy that it's back.
I'm on that side because I don't think I've actually played a WarioWare game before.
It's really frantic and a lot of fun. Like it's super simplistic, but it's a lot of fun just because you have those micro games and you have to like just do things like pluck the hairs out or shave the guy,
shave the guy,
or blow the balloon away. It's like it's like really simple stuff, but it's like addicting kind of fun.
Okay. I dig it, and I might actually consider it because it does sound like it could even be like kind of a fun party game if it does have co-op.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah. It is going to cost $60 full, I'm sure, at launch.
Probably, but
yeah, that's going to be somewhat of a deterrent for a bit.
I totally understand that. But for me in WarioWare, I might honestly just...
You're going to get it day one?
I don't know about day one, but...
Day two.
Maybe day three.
Okay.
Know,
E3. Yeah. E3, day three.
Yes.
Yes.
What else you got?
Okay, so when it comes to other stuff, I mean, I also kind of wanted to add that Wario is like my favorite Mario franchise character.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't bring myself to have a favorite because like, a lot of them just don't really have personality. Maybe I'll throw a shout out to Rosalina or something like that because I like space things.
You know what? Fair. Like she didn't even really cross my mind.
Like, I like Galaxy a lot. I mentioned Super Mario Galaxy once on a bonus episode. And so like, yeah, that's really cool. Also, otherwise than that, maybe Luigi. I identify with Luigi because he's a scaredy cat. So
fair enough. I dig that. Luigi's also pretty cool, and he's my nephew's favorite. Now I would say that another thing that I was actually like more excited than not was honestly Just Dance 2022.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not expect that one.
I haven't played Just Dance in so long, and doing it again, like it just seems like fun, like a good amount of cardio. I almost said cardioid because I've been reviewing too many microphones, but yeah, like just having two Joy-Cons and doing your thing, doing your dabs and your nays, your whips. I mean, I pray to God that those are not there, but still, like I was happy to see it, even though we have had Just Dance games on the Switch for a long time, every single year, and I've never bought into them. It's usually because they're usually like more so on the higher end of price, and I have like other priorities when it comes to games that I want to buy.
Right.
But Just Dance 2022, I might actually bite the bullet for that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely. I've never played Just Dance personally, but it does seem like a lot of people really like it. It actually seems kind of fun overall.
It is.
I just wonder, like,
because it's such an active game.
I'm just wondering though, like, without like the motion controls aspect for various things, like, how does the game register your dance moves?
It would probably be through like button presses and things like that.
But then couldn't you just cheat by like just sitting down and pressing buttons?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, like Persona dancing games.
Okay.
For example, like those you have to time your button presses.
Okay.
And there's this one scene in the this one I want to say quick time event in Final Fantasy VII Remake where it is a dance sequence.
Okay.
And when you get there, if you get there,
when I get there,
you will love it.
Okay.
Because everybody loved it.
All right.
Yes.
I can totally see that.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Sticking with Ubisoft for a bit.
Okay.
Which I thought Ubisoft's show was decent. Not great, not terrible, decent. But something that I was very surprised about, and I was just like completely blindsided, granted they didn't show a whole lot of it, of course, Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora.
Ah.
Which...
Yeah,
like,
that was cute.
I was... okay, so I'm gonna fanboy a little bit here. I actually do like James Cameron's Avatar. Darn it. Like, I actually do really like the franchise, even though the franchise currently comprises one movie. But like, I've been like very impatiently waiting for the sequel, and they keep pushing it back just to test my patience. And like, I'm really excited that like
It's finally coming next year.
I was thrilled to see that like they actually have a full-on AAA Avatar title. It's from the people who made the Division games, which were, but those guys
Interesting.
those guys also made Far Cry 3 though. So and a lot of people regard Far Cry 3 as the best one.
Okay.
So it's like very excited to see that. Apparently, is going to be first person from the things that they said afterwards. Like it's first person open world sort of survival game. It is. Thankfully, a single-player experience, because during the trailer, I started getting nervous that maybe it was some sort of like multiplayer live service where you have to choose a side between like, you know, the Na'vi and the humans, and it's like, oh, don't do that to me, please don't. And then like Ubisoft afterwards was like, nope, it's single-player. And it's like, thank God.
Nice.
But
I mean, Ubisoft does mostly focus on single-player now.
No, they try to make their things live service.
Real?
Even their single player, like Assassin's Creed, is like a live service game, even despite being single player.
Oh,
like it's a lot
that's
of
right.
like,
I think they do have like a multiplayer mode.
No, there's no multiplayer mode for the new ones.
Really?
Yeah, there's no multiplayer mode. What it is that they'll have like limited run events where it's like you have to log into the game and grind it out to do this thing, or you can do a microtransaction to speed up your process, and it's like
easy.
So it's like a live service, but without any sort of like interaction with other players. And it's just like, darn, why are you doing that? That's kind of dumb. I'm not going to pay microtransactions for a single player game.
Yeah, totally. Who would? I can't think of a single person that would.
I wouldn't. I know there's other people who would. I personally wouldn't. And I wouldn't be surprised if Avatar does have something similar to that itself. But like, just in general, I'm really excited to like explore Pandora like that. I know a lot of people are like dead franchise or whatever, but Avatar is still alive to me. Darn it.
And that's what matters. And you know what? If you're excited for the game, then that's totally okay. Stop hating. You know.
Right.
Yeah, just let you enjoy what you enjoy. And since I think this camera might actually survive the entire recording.
You really think so?
I think it might.
Okay.
I think it might. So
let's keep it going.
So let's keep it going. At least this will be the episode where we test it. How powerful is this air conditioner?
If it breaks, we'll show like trailer footage of a game that we liked.
Yeah.
and then get copyright stricken.
Yeah. Like Pixel Perfect. That's what I'm going to end up showing on loop. So like, let's see. I mean, honestly, like when it comes to very exciting things, I can mention things that were mentioned, but weren't really, like we didn't really see that much about, like things like Breath of the Wild 2, which I'm sure is going to have a different name.
Just put it.
Yeah, okay.
Honestly, put it. To me, that is a showing.
Yeah.
Like, for me, if I hear just mentioned, but nothing was really shown, I'm thinking of like Metroid Prime 4. where they briefly mentioned it and were like, no news for now.
Yeah.
That to me is like, but Breath of the Wild 2, I consider that a full-on game that they showed.
Same thing with like Elder Scrolls 6. Like they just said, yeah, we're still working on it.
They very passingly mentioned it.
Yeah.
I
want to see one character model at least.
You're gonna be waiting. But we'll get to that in a moment. But tell me more.
Yeah.
Like, tell us, Breath of the Wild 2. Go for it.
Yeah. So Breath of the Wild 2. I mean, it looked really nice.
It does.
It looked like Breath of the Wild. There have been games like Genshin Impact that have tried really hard to like make itself look like Breath of the Wild as much as possible, but it just simply can't capture what Breath of the Wild is.
Yeah, Nintendo is like really good at capturing this sort of magic of I've seen a lot of people they say like Nintendo is the Disney of video games, and I fully believe it because it's like there is that sort of like magic element to it when it comes to Nintendo games, and the fact that they keep a lot of these things very guarded secrets.
Yes.
Like they do not really reveal their development process whatsoever compared to like studios here in the West or even some studios in the East. Like I feel like Square Enix shows off more than Nintendo tends to when it comes to like their process of like developing and what they use.
I mean, we know what engine they use and stuff.
Exactly. Whereas Nintendo does not talk about that whatsoever.
Yeah.
They don't show behind the scenes footage at all.
And like the secret recipe of the Krabby Patty. For some reason, they don't like to share the secret.
When Link was first revealed, like falling out of the sky, like with the outfit that he had, the first thing I was thinking is, oh, it's Immortals Phoenix Rising, which is another Breath of the Wild clone.
Yeah. A lot of people really
Greek.
like Immortals too.
It looked very. I heard it was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, like when it comes to Breath of the Wild, that's pretty much it. I want to see it. I'm excited for it.
I kind of do hope that the actual title is just a sequel to The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
It's supposed to be, as far as I know. And then I think that the Hyrule one, like the
Dynasty Warriors one.
Yeah.
The Hyrule Warriors. Yeah.
Yeah. That one, I think, was a prequel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it takes place during the Calamity, 100 years before Breath of the Wild.
100 years. Oh,
100 years before.
okay.
Yeah, that's the Calamity that starts off the events of
It was before he was like frozen and played for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. As he became,
Oh, okay.
Although it was revealed yesterday that there is, in fact, an actual title for the Breath of the Wild sequel, but apparently they are waiting to reveal it at a later date because it could be a bit of a spoiler as to what's happening in the game.
Okay.
So it's kind of like an Avengers Endgame type of deal, where it's like they don't want to reveal the title yet.
Fair enough.
It's probably going to have to do with time travel, though, because we saw in that trailer, like, there's some, like, time traveling looking things where it's like he reversed the spiky ball up the hill.
I saw that, but I never really made that connection with time travel, and I really hope that's not the case.
You also have that music thing, like there's that point in the music where the chanting was going in reverse, so it's like I don't think maybe not time travel, but it's kind of like Blink's the Time Sweeper, where you were able to like pause, rewind, and stuff like that. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Like a mechanic like that would actually be pretty cool. Like imagine rewinding death.
No, you don't get that. You're not gonna get that.
Hey, we don't know that yet.
No, Breath of the Wild 2 is definitely looking exciting.
Yeah. For sure. I think Nintendo certainly had the best event. Though, spoiler alert, I think that their Treehouse was boring like always.
I don't really watch the Treehouses just because it's like a long form of like gameplay, and it's like, I'll just wait till I play the game or something like that.
Dude, I'm just gonna say it here. It's boring as hell.
Tell us more on the bonus episode.
Yeah.
Switching gears just slightly, because there's some other stuff from Nintendo that I really liked, but just switching gears very slightly.
Yeah, what's up with you?
Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that I feel we're going to disagree with. Halo Infinite looked pretty neat. I'm gonna throw.
I mean, hey, like there's been a ton of excitement for Halo. Like, I don't blame you.
They fixed up the graphics a little bit, But now keep in mind, I actually don't have that much experience with Halo. The only one I ever really owned and played was Reach.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny because when I got a 360, it was for Halo, and then I didn't buy a Halo until Reach.
So you did reach it.
Yes.
Yes.
It took us a while before we used that button.
I know, right?
But
I feel like we've been cracking jokes this entire time, huh?
Not really puns, though.
It's been,
But Halo Infinite looking pretty cool. I'm glad they fixed it up. One of the really interesting things to me is that Halo Infinite's multiplayer is going to be free to play for everybody.
I heard, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I'm very interested in like what they're gonna do with that. I feel like it's coming a little too late. Like if I was a kid and they made Halo's multiplayer like free, I would have been like all over it. But like I feel from my experience with Halo Reach at least, Halo's multiplayer has always been a lot of fun. Like very like nice basic fun, in a way that Call of Duty wasn't.
I know that some people speak very fondly about the split screen nature of the multiplayer. You know, like back when it was just local multiplayer mostly.
There's that.
Back in the 360 days and stuff.
There's like that. The online multiplayer. There's a lot of nostalgia for like Halo 3, Xbox Live lobbies and stuff like that.
Yeah. Every time that game gets brought up, I just think of Beyonce's song. Can I get a Halo?
I'm just going to give you that one.
I can't help it. I feel like that should be the theme of the game too.
But I'm really excited because I did install the Master Chief Collection on my PC, so I can finally experience the story. Because I heard that the story is really good. The only problem is that Halo 5 is not available on PC, and I've heard a lot of Halo fans be like, "Trust me, you don't want to play that one. It's bad."
Is it on Game Pass?
It's on Game Pass if you have the console. But like, I mean, like Halo 5 is not on PC. Period.
I see.
Like it's not there. Like they never ported that one to PC.
I thought that if it was on Game Pass, you could still play it.
Maybe if you use like xCloud's feature, like the cloud feature, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But 5 is not available on PC, so for that one, I'd probably have to like go onto YouTube and look at the cutscenes or something like that. And, like experience Halo 5 as a movie.
Hey, I mean, there's definitely a movie out there, guarantee.
No, there is. There totally is. But it would have been nice to actually experience the game. Again, a lot of people say like you're better off just saving your time on it, but
like if it's canon, like try to catch up with it. I would say, yeah, but I wouldn't avoid it.
Was there anything else from like Microsoft's conference that you particularly liked?
From Microsoft's conference? I mean, I thought that they had a good conference, but not one that was for me. Like when it came to Microsoft, I didn't really think that there was all that much that was really for somebody like me. Like I'm just a lot more of an RPG kind of guy, as you already know, and I say almost all the time.
Yeah, they only showed off one Weeb game the entire time.
Yeah. Though Elden Ring.
Elden Ring?
Yeah, that was nice.
I mean, that wasn't Microsoft, but...
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't Microsoft.
I was
like
figuring you were going to mention Elden Ring at some point, though.
I had to. I actually forgot about it this entire time until I came across it on this article. So yeah, Elden Ring. I'm definitely excited for that, but I had to finish Demon's Souls remake first because, man, like that game is hard.
I mean, you got some time for Elden Ring. It comes out in, what, January?
Yeah.
January 25th or something like that?
Yeah, sometime in January. But, dude, there's so many games coming, even just this year. Like Pokemon, like the best remakes ever for Pokemon are coming out.
You got the God Pokemon game. I'm not even going to get into that debate about how to pronounce it. So
Right, so I'm just going to say Arceus, and we're going to stick with that.
Yeah, you know, we're very excited for Arceus. We didn't even like get previews of that during the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
Notice that? We're probably going to be waiting till like a Pokemon Direct later in the summer or something. But.
I mean, I'm not sure if we're going to get one necessarily in the summer because like we already got one, you know, like the other day. So
I mean, they do have to like show off more of Diamond and Pearl before it comes out. That's for sure.
Yeah, but like Pokemon is usually a separate event.
That's what I'm thinking. Like maybe like in August or September, maybe they have like a direct for Pokemon.
August, September. Yeah. I think that sounds about right. Yeah, I would like to see a little bit more, but like I'm also pretty familiar with a lot of the things that are going to be there. However, considering that all of my friends have already told me that they're getting Pearl and I wanted Pearl, it's like, all right, fine, I'll get Diamond.
But yeah, no, Pokemon is definitely nice. Elden Ring is... Actually, I have not seen Elden Ring, but it's a From Software game, and while I'm not super gung-ho about From Software yet, because my experiences with Dark Souls were actually kind of I
understand.
But I like Sekiro, so I'm excited to see what Elden Ring brings. A lot of people are very excited about it. I'm happy for them. Starfield. I'm going to put Starfield on the list. Granted, Outer Worlds 2 completely crapped all over it with its satirical trailer. It's like, we're going to show you nothing at all, but we're going to show you a protagonist looking off in the distance and these beautiful settings. It's like, you guys are just crapping all over Starfield's trailer like not even an hour ago. And it's like,
Look at the Outer Worlds, guys.
but Starfield, it's really cool to like actually get.
I'll give it to myself.
You deserve that one. Yeah.
Thank you.
But like I'm excited for Starfield. You know, Bethesda games. I like those like mainline Bethesda RPGs. So I'm really excited to see Starfield. The fact that Todd Howard describes it as NASA punk in aesthetic, it's like, wow, that sounds really interesting.
It sounds interesting, but he has also claimed, infinite amounts of missions for Fallout 4.
Okay, so I'm not okay, yeah, that's the thing. He's talking about gameplay features, but if he's just talking about like art aesthetic, it's like, okay, I believe him. If he's just talking about like the art style, I can believe him because he's like he can't lie about the art style. But like he was touting certain things where it's like he was like, oh, it's going to be a more hardcore RPG, kind of like what, like not From Software, but like it's going to be like a deeper RPG with more hardcore elements. And I'm like, that's where it's like, sure, Todd, but but like him saying, oh, it's NASA punk and art style. It's like, okay, I can totally believe that. He can't lie about the art style because it's right in front of our faces in the trailer and stuff like that.
NASA punk. That sounds so hipster for some reason to
the
me.
Presumable cover art, because like they showed off the art style like afterwards with at the end with the trailer. It's like that presumable cover piece is like it looks really nice. It looks very like 60s, 70s, like NASA dreams of space kind of thing. 2001: A Space Odyssey. And it's just like that looks beautiful to me. I really hate that we have to wait until the end of next year. Turns out those rumors were in fact true. You have to wait until November 2022.
Yeah,
that's quite a while, but
however, aren't you excited that that it's going to be an Xbox exclusive? Aren't you?
I don't care. But the fact that we are getting it on Game Pass day one is nice. You don't have to spend money on it. It's Game Pass exclusive.
Oh, that's pretty cool, actually.
You're making me sound like an Xbox shill, man. I don't even have an Xbox. I'm not even getting an Xbox. You pieces. No, here's actually what I am excited about.
What's up?
One of the rumors, or not rumors, is the thing that they confirmed years ago turns out to be completely false. It is a brand new engine. They confirmed later on afterward that it is a brand new engine that they built from the top. It's Creation Engine 2.
Thank the Lord.
So back then, many years ago, they said, oh, it's going to be the exact same engine that they've been using since like Oblivion days. And we were all like, why are they doing this? How dare they? But they confirm it's a brand new engine, Creation Engine 2. And that just means like, it makes sense now why it's taken so long to make this game.
Because they were making a new
it's like
engine.
They're making a brand new engine from the top down. They saw what happened with Fallout 76 and they're like, all right, we got to fix this.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be bug free, but there's still totally going to be bugs or whatever. But like at the same time, it's
a
just
Bethesda game.
It's like we're going to see a whole new engine, better graphics, hopefully a more stable game, much more possibilities. And that also means Elder Scrolls 6 will also be on that new engine.
It better be, yeah.
Good. And that also possibly means that it might actually take like less time to make Elder Scrolls 6. Now, granted, we're still probably several years away from it because they wanted to wait after Starfield to really go all in on it.
And I'm fairly certain that there are going to be season passes for Starfield as well.
There'll be DLC certainly, but like I feel like they're gonna have like a B team work on that while they start full on development for Elder Scrolls because they know people are waiting for that.
Yeah, they will be milking Starfield for sure because they milked Skyrim for a very, very long time.
They have to. I mean, they're really touting out. Like Todd was like, "This is our first new IP in 25 years," and it's like, I'm all for it.
Oh, Todd, you're so proud of saying that.
They're not wrong. They're not wrong. They really don't put out new IPs. It's really just Elder Scrolls and Fallout, and Fallout's not even their IP. It wasn't even originally theirs. So,
I mean, isn't Dishonored theirs though?
That's Arcane and Bethesda. Well, yeah. Bethesda, I mean, like that's Arcane Studios, though. I mean, like I'm talking about like mainline Bethesda, like actual Bethesda studio in like Baltimore. It's like
I see. Like Bethesda was only a publisher.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which, for the record, Arcane and that vampire game, I'm gonna give an honorable mention to that. That looks really nice.
Fair enough.
Very tiny detail, but I really liked it is when like you had the telekinesis girl who was like reloading her gun with telekinesis. Like she was like floating the bullets into the chamber. I'm just like, that looks really cool.
One in the chamber.
It's so extra, but it's really cool. What else?
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, like when it comes to exciting things from everything that came in the C3, honestly, I think that's it. I'm
Really?
ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
You're tapped out.
I'm ready to complete.
Oh wow.
To complain, I mean.
I got a couple more things. You know, Super Monkey Ball is a childhood favorite of mine. So the fact that they're remastering all those old courses instead of trying to make bad new ones, I'm really excited. We got Monkey Baseball coming back and all that stuff. It's like all the mini games, the things I really liked. Like I mentioned, the new Arcane game. Honestly, anything that Arcane makes, I feel like very confident with. You know, I really like Dishonored. I sadly haven't played Prey yet, but like Deathloop, I'm really excited about. I've gushed about Deathloop a few times now on this podcast. So their new game coming out, I'm really excited about that. Not branded. Replaced. That was one of the indie titles that was shown off in Microsoft's thing. Like a beautiful art style, looks very like cyber noir kind of thing.
Yeah, it was somewhere
Replaced right there. Yeah.
Oh, yep. 2022.
Yeah,
it's coming to Xbox.
That looks very intriguing and cool. Very interested in that. Redfall was the Arcane game. That's what it was with the vampire and stuff like that. It's Redfall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that they showed it off like last second, and it's like, that looks really cool.
I was eyeing that game as well. I did kind of forget about it though. But
it looks really cool.
Yeah, that game
and then I want to
really
give a shout out to one more game that is technically post E3, but it looks really cool.
Go for it.
That is The Secret of Retropolis.
Final Fantasy Origin. Oh, wait, what?
The Secret of Retropolis, which is currently being showcased on the Steam the Steam Summer Game Fest sort of thing, where they have like loads of demos and stuff like that.
The Gummer Fest.
Secret of Retropolis sadly does not have a demo, but like it looks really interesting. It is a VR title.
Really?
Yes, it is a VR title. Sort of point-and-click adventure where it's like this sort of retro-futurist kind of like style where it's like almost like a film noir, but it's also like almost like Futurama-looking with like robots, and it's like a beautiful-looking art style. I'm very excited to see what comes out of that. So like, because I do want to shout out some of the smaller indie titles that were shown off around this time period. So like, this looks really cool, I think, and the fact that it is VR, it's like. Like, that's the thing, because there wasn't a whole lot of VR games that were shown off during main E3. It's a lot of more like the indie stuff, and Steam is putting a showcase on a lot of those indie VR titles, and it's like, that looks really cool. So
yeah,
I guess to sort of end the show on that piece.
Yes, on a pretty high note there, because I'm also interested in VR, being a proud owner of a headset myself, and you too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, and there's actually one major complaint that I'm going to have about VR. In the bonus episode.
Yeah. And so, if you're interested in finding out what that major complaint is going to be, make sure to pledge to the Patreon, because, I mean, it's pretty simple. It's going to be linked down in the description of both the podcast episode, audio only, and video.
Of course. One last one. Yep. Metroid Dread. I feel like we would be remiss not mentioning Metroid Dread, because that was one of the hypest things for everybody throughout the whole show. You not a Metroid guy?
Not necessarily, but like I do have some stuff to say about that.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people are really excited for Metroid Dread, like first 2D Metroid in like 19 years. Apparently it was a long-awaited title that's been like hinted at and like canceled over the last 15 years or something like that. So like my friend is super excited. I'm really happy for him.
Nice.
So Steven, if you're looking at this,
shout out to you.
Bless you, man.
And again, thanks to all of the patrons who support us, and just know that you have been automatically entered to win this Rode NT-USB Mini for the month of June, and for the month of July, we'll see what we can get our hands on for the giveaway.
Of course, and remember, go to the Patreon for a chance to win this and to get more E3 thoughts in the next bonus episode.
Of course. This has been Francisco.
And Chris.
Enjoy.
Good night. Travel well.